Testing. See if I can hear you guys. Let me get the audio. Can you guys hear me? Let me get the mic here. Audio. Hold. Hello. I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay? Stop typing it down. Can you guys hear me? How do I look?
Can you hear us?
I can, yes.
Okay. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm kind of nervous.
I'm nervous too. That's what I said. But it's not live.
Okay.
It's recorded.
Oh, okay, great.
So they'll cut out all of the nervousness.
So we can go beep, then a beep if we say something wrong, you know? We get the beep sound. Okay.
Exactly. You got my email, right?
I did, yes.
The question.
Okay. Yeah.
Conversation.
Yeah. Sounds great. Can you guys hear me okay, though?
I think they're working on, like, how to do the pictures.
Right. Are there other people going to be joining us, or?
Yeah, so John Petty, do you know John?
I believe so, yeah. I've talked to her. I think so.
He's going to be joining us as well.
Oh, him. Okay. Maybe not.
So, here in a minute, he's doing DQP right now.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to prepare.
Right on. I know if you put a picture in the background, you can make this smaller, and then you can add pictures to the background, like Night Transportation logo or anything like that. So if you have a night logo, if there's something that goes across the bottom or anything else, it's a pretty easy system. I use it too.
It's easy, you guys get it together.
If you want me to teach you one day in Phoenix, I'll come. I'll teach you guys how to do it in the studios.
John's. Yeah. I like that I can see them. Yeah, I think so. No, like when there for a minute you guys had it programmed where I could only see him when he was talking. I like that I can see him all the time.
Yeah, when you have multiple people in here, it's going to be a block. So you're going to see everybody at the same time. It's like almost like a news broadcast, really.
Yeah, it's a news broadcast. Are you ready, Dennis?
Oh yeah, I do this for a living. I know, right? So you guys are in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, so we're in the corporate building.
Oh, okay. Now that's separate from like the terminal, right? The terminal's there, and then you're training the Squire and all that. But then the actual where everybody is, like VP wise, is a different building.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the north building is probably, I'd say, 35 miles from Buckeye.
Really? Oh wow.
It's quite a ways.
Right. Well, they want to position it up in the mountains somewhere, overlooking Arizona.
Yeah, I wish.
Right. Nice and cool up there.
I had a view of the mountains.
I know. Flagstaff is definitely cooler than where you are down there in the valley. So.
Joining us, we pulled you away from TQP Live.
Good morning. I was in the middle of a conversation when I got on.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Way more important.
Oh, yes.
Did you get my email I sent you yesterday?
No. CJ reset my password on me, and everything locked up on me. So we had to call AT and try to get it fixed. It was a headache yesterday.
If you would have told me. Recording you guys. Yeah, just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Just keep talking. So I have to be on my P's and Q's because I got a sailor mouth sometimes. So.
Yeah, it's recorded. Me and Dennis were talking. It's a recorded kind of session here, John. So
they can edit all the beeps.
Yeah,
they can edit.
Be very careful.
We're being semi-professional, non-professional, professional.
Fairly professional. Like 99% professional.
I think I can manage that for however long this takes.
This is just kind of a conversation on the refer a friend program, right?
Right.
Are you both, John, you work part-time as a driver still, correct?
Yeah, every once in a while do a load if they need it.
Cool.
Okay. That's good. Every weekend or?
No, they have me dispatched on the weekends now. But if there's an emergency, something that needs to go get taken care of, I need to go get, I'll go do it. But normally I'm dispatched on the weekends and doing the commuter in the week.
Now I've seen that's a little bit of a trend. We have a few people in Portland that do the same thing. They were drivers for a few years, and then they were like, "Well, let me try to be a driver manager." So they're doing dual. Actually, it's kind of cool.
I think the basis behind it is because as a driver, you understand what the driver's going through.
Right. Exactly.
So if you learn to dispatch, so when the driver calls you since they have this problem, they actually have been there. They're like, okay, I can help you. Let me explain what the issue or the situation is.
Right.
Or if you've never driven before, you're kind of like, well, let me find out. Let me see if I can talk to somebody. Because we have so many new drivers.
Hold on, let me contact somebody, and you're like, really? I need an answer now.
So it helps at being a driver because you can actually help them when they're new out of the Squire program. Because if they're not, I mean, the experienced drivers, they know what they're doing. But we've got a lot of people that are fresh out of school, fresh off the truck with a trainer, and they're calling in on the weekend. They're just lost.
Right.
And you got to kind of guide them through and talk them through the situation.
Agreed.
So when you're teaching DQP, do you bring up the Refer a Friend program?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I talk about like the people I brought over, and I worked for night for a little over 2 years, and I left because I needed to be home with my daughter. Because back then it was a lot more OTR. There wasn't as much as there is now with the dedicated. But so I left and went to another company, and they put me in safety over there, so I was able to be home with my daughter. And then I kept in contact with the bosses over here. The DDMC, Dustin. Me and Dustin have a close relationship. And Dustin would just call me, we'd talk, and goof off and joke around. And one day he's like, "Hey, dude, you're doing safety, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, Mike wants to leave. You want to come over?" And I'm like, so here I am.
Yeah.
I ran back home.
I had a similar in Portland too as well. I was able to. They offered me to do the safety there in Portland. I was like, oh no, I'll just drive. But I did local at first, regional, local Canada, and then I just came in there and I said, hey, I want to go over the road. And they were like, you want to what? I said, yeah, I want to go over the road. Let me go. Let me be free, And I just started driving. So yeah, they tend to retract me back to Portland to do local stuff as much as possible. But
you probably prefer to be in the truck because you can be out on the road and refer a bunch of people and make a bunch of money, right, Dennis?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. It's kind of hard to. It's not as easy as it sounds to try to recruit other drivers from other companies to bring them on or attract them to, our company. It's not really easy. I mean, for anybody to do. So it takes a little bit of a cunning talk to get people interested, at least.
I brought.
Oh, sorry, John. Have you talked to him about me?
No, I said I already brought 6 people from my other company. I was over back tonight.
Yeah, pull them.
Yeah, I just grabbed them right now. I'm still bugging them over where I used to work. I'm still pulling them over.
Right. What I do is I'm very particular on how my truck looks. So I always keep it clean. I try to keep the best looking truck in there when I pull in. Not to say that people walk up to me, but I've had a few that have asked me, hey, how does Knight treat you? And then right there is that, oh, well, let me tell you, here, this is what they do and this is what they do. And then I start to ask them about their company, and most of the time I hear small complaints about, well, I sat for this long, or I didn't get any freight for where I wanted to go, or I didn't get any home time. I said, well, each company is, their company. That's what they do. Their goal is to move that freight, and you're the vehicle that's going to do it. So if your mindset is set on, well, I want to go home all the time, I want to do this, I want to do that, you got to really think of the bigger picture. And that's what I try to explain to people. Look at the bigger picture. Knight Transportation is here to move freight, move a lot of freight at a large volume and a lot of drivers. So their main goal is to obviously get that freight delivered, and you're the vehicle that does it. But at the same time, they're understanding. You want some home time. They don't want, they're not going to force you to go do something. They'll work with you. Okay, well, if you do this, we'll let you do that, right after this. Can we get this load? So if your mindset is set on the bigger picture, then you'll thrive, and you'll get the things that you want to do. And then I try to tell people that it's what you make it. And I have a lot of my friends tell me the same thing. A lot of my trucker retirees out there that tell me the same thing. It's what you make it. And it's the same thing back in the military as well. Being 20 years in the military, it's what you make it. It's not for everybody, but it's what you make it. So that's why I try the angles that I try to do.
Thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
One more question for you. So it sounds like you make a lot of your connections just while you're gassing up, or at the truck stop. So do you do any self promotion?
Quite a bit. I have we have a few things. We have a Facebook page that we do. We have a YouTube page that we do. I constantly talk about the real aspects of truck driving. There's created, and there is the real, live, raw, uncut. And that's what I try to show. Like, there's going to be times where things are not going to work out the way that you want. And whether you get frustrated or if you handle it professionally, that's what I try to portray on any of like my podcast, I call it podcasts, or interviews, or things that I do and put out there on social media. One, I try to be positive. Okay, things are going to go wrong. You're going to mess up. You're going to miss a turn. You're going to do this. You're going to call the DM. DM's going to be like, well, we need to get you to, or they're going to change your load at the last minute. And you're going to be like, what? I had this planned. Well, things like that happen all the time. So, like I said, you go back to the bigger picture. We're here to move freight, and that's our job. So I put it out there and I show them the real live on, what it's out here, what it's really like. Long, boring roads. You get lonely. You want to go home. You want to ride your Harley. You want to go fishing. You want to talk to, Uncle Johnny that's sitting on the porch drinking a beer, and you're sitting here driving on a long highway, you want to see family. You want to do Christmas. You want to do this, but you're a driver. That's your profession. You need to move logistics around, and that's what we do. So, I don't know.
So it sounds like you talked to a lot of newer drivers.
I do.
CDL, Squire.
Yep.
And I've actually gone to the schools locally in Fresno, Isaiah, Lemoore, talking to them about bringing their students over here. And 2 of the schools already got to bring their people over.
Right
and
on.
they're not going to charge anything. They're going to push them to come here because I've talked about the family atmosphere, the way Knight treats you as a family.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the reason I came back, because I love the way it's a big company, but it feels like a little tiny company because everybody here is like, every day that's coming in, like, hey, John, everybody knows me. I know them.
Right.
And it becomes like a family. It's not the big company feel where you walk in and the boss looks at you like, what are you doing in my office? Here, the boss is like asking how your day is, what do you want to do, what do you have for lunch?
Right.
It's a totally different atmosphere. And that's one of the things I push the drivers I talk to them. And the fact that you can tell them, hey, I've got family in Washington. I want a trip to Washington. I want to sit down my 34 over there. They'll do it.
That's what I
And they'll
do.
find you something going there so you can see your family. And that's what I love about it.
Paid vacation.
Yeah, and then the guys at the truck tops tell me, "Oh, my company won't get me home. They won't do this. They send me here." And if people know that I brought the truck company, the truck company is because of that fact. Because they're not getting home. They're out 6-7 weeks, and they're not getting home. And Knight will try to get you home to your family to spend time with your family, and that's one of the main goals behind it.
I think we're really revolutionizing the transportation industry. So, with that said, while you're out and about, how do you identify good drivers for Knight?
I mean, you can kind of spot them. I mean, especially the way they back, the way they're looking at their truck. You got the ones that just the ones that actually get out and look when they're backing, but then you got the ones that just come in and superchargers just slam it in, take a mirror out.
Yeah, identify the ones that aren't good drivers. We could definitely do that very quickly.
Yeah, that's easy to spot. Yeah.
Man, I do. I keep an eye out. I keep an eye out for people. One of the things I do is I see if somebody is happy-go-lucky. Like if you have a keen sense of if somebody's happy when they're driving, then they're probably happy with that company. They're smiling. They're like, hey, how you doing? In the terminals. But if you see somebody that's getting a cup of coffee, he's like, oh man, I want to get home. You kind of hear that, like, well, what company you work for, bud? And they'll be like, well, I work for this company, and they'll just tell you because a truck driver will talk. Okay, a truck driver will offload whatever's happening in their in their bubble right then and there. And they'll be like, well, you got a second? I'll talk to you. Especially the older fellas. And they'll let you know how happy they are, how disappointed with the company that they're with. And all I simply say is I got that little card. I put my code on there. Or I give them the email with the code. And I say, hey, look, I know there's a lot of companies out here. There's a lot of different avenues. But if you would like to take a look and see what Knight can offer you, and if it jives and you're happy with what they offer, then give it a try. You see people, and if they're about to leave that company anyways, give them that opportunity and present that. Don't be shy. I didn't want to mention my company. No, hey, try it. If you like it, then you're good. But if it's something that's not going to fit for you, then it is what it is. Because truck drivers will talk. They'll let you know. So that's why I try to do.
Track your referrals through the mobile app?
I do. At first, I know you guys are not fixing it. I know you guys are vamping it. And at first, when I saw I had like 12 referrals, and then it dwindled down because I know some people can't qualify or people are interested. So there was 12 referrals, and then it dwindled down to 3 to 4 to 5, and then and it came up and down. So I don't know how on my side seeing it from the app how accurate it was, but for the most part, yeah, I can track, when you contact them if they're hired, they're not hired. It's a great app. I mean, it's fantastic to actually see live, you know, when you refer somebody and do they call or don't they call? Because once you leave and give them that card, you don't know. You don't know if that person used you as a referral or they didn't, you know, contact Knight at all. So it's great to see their name pop. Oh, they did, you know, and you get excited because you know that on the flip side, that code is going to get you paid. And if you think about it, that's a revenue income stream coming in, you know? So if you're driving a truck and you can refer one driver per month, that's $500, correct? For inexperienced. And how much was it for experienced driver?
$1,500.
That's a no-brainer right there. As a driver trainer, and you're out here on the road, I would, hey, you're tonight. Hey, you're tonight. You know, I would tell every single person, get over here.
Just make those cards
Right? Just go like this, you know, because that benefit while you're driving, you can refer other drivers and get paid. So if you're good at it and you can talk to people and let them know, but not really bull crap them, because there's a lot of hype that you can hype it up and say, well, you get this, that, and that. No, call this number, contact the recruiters, because they're going to give you the accurate information. And that's what I always say. I say, look, here's the information, see if it's right for you. And that's what I always tell people. I'm not going to blow smoke up your, you know, I don't know, beep that out, but I'm not going to do that to keep it real. You know, I'm going to let you know what the recruiters are going to tell you. And if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, then, you know, now you have an option just in case you want to go back to that. So, and it's all about options in life, especially out here on the road. And you know, other companies are doing the same thing. So they're all trying to recruit as many people as they possibly can.
The one difference is a lot of companies, when they give the referral, they split it out between the month. Like they'll give you one after 90 days, then they'll give it to you 6 months, they'll give it to you at the end of the year. Where Knight actually does it all at one shot when they do it slow. and I make that a point when I tell the drivers about referring people.
Yeah. When I was driving, I'm sorry. When I was driving before and I got the payroll information, it popped up. It was just like, boom, you know, $1,000. I was like, really? Wow. My paycheck plus 1,000. Cha-ching. Yeah. You know, that's great. It's a great week.
So do you guys mind sharing how much you made from the Refer a Friend program? Do you know?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know exactly. Well, we just got the Rolling Out America during the pandemic, April 15th. So I'll just let everybody know I wasn't really doing too much long distance, but I got about $2,500 dropped in that time frame. So that was a pretty good check, along with my week worth of pay. You know, it was 1,000 plus, and then I got another $2,500 on top of that, and that was a $3,000 paycheck. So I was like, "Whoa, this is great."
Someone in Tulare got $8,700.
I know, and it depends on how far and how much you drove. You know, I didn't really do much. I was up and down the I-5, but they were cross country guys were getting $8,000 for their contribution to the
America bonus.
Right, exactly, right. And that was the bonus that was incorporated.
Down payment on the new Harley.
Yeah.
Right.
I just sold my old one. I'm looking for another one.
What kind of Harley do you have?
I'm sorry?
What kind of Harley?
Oh, a Softail.
Okay.
I got 4 bikes. Yeah, but I just got to get home enough to ride them. So I used to when I was local regional. I was home almost every weekend, but I told them I wanted to go over the road, so I'm out. You know, I go out for 4 weeks at a time. Plus, I'm doing the training. I just finished a female driver named Star Beaver. She just finished up, and she's getting seated. Yep, she's getting seated in her truck, which is fantastic. And she was already actually going out there. Hey, you guys want to drive for Knight? Here's my number. Here's my code. I was like, oh, great.
You know about Star Beaver over here in the recruiting department.
Right. So she was a blast. She was awesome. Had a great time training her and she's really good at what she does. So hopefully she has a great success in getting other drivers interested, especially bus drivers or people that can't use their CDL or their Class B and are interested in coming into. You can recruit people like that. You see a box truck driver and he's got a Class B. You ask them, hey, have you ever thought about a Class A? And they'll be like, well, no, I can't afford it. Well, guess what? Knight will help you. They will help you get your CDL. You just got to drive for them for a little bit, but you'll be able to pay that off and it won't cost you anything out of your pocket, So I tell them that and I give them the referral, and you entice those Class B drivers that want to go Class A, They're out there. You just got to find them.
Drivers.
We just got a Greyhound driver last week. Hired.
Oh yeah, great.
Lady named Gina. Yeah, she drove for 20 years and doing Greyhound. Now she's coming here.
Right on. Yeah, just all Class B drivers. I mean, if they're striving to be a Class A, look into them. Tell them about Knight. Tell them about our company. But like you said, back to the family thing. It is the relationship that I have with my personal driver manager is bar none. I can call him pretty much anytime. He'll pick up the phone. He'll let me know, hey, there's 3 in a queue. I'll get back to you, or I'll call you back real quick, and then he'll call me back and he'll let me know. And he's always striving to set me up for success as far as, each load that I get is pretty much relatively in the same area, and set you up where you're heading to the direction that you want to go. Hey, I want to go to Florida. All right, let's go. They'll line them up for you, and then they'll do all the hard work for you. You just drive your truck, So I really like my driver manager. I like the relationships that I have with them. And I feel I can communicate anything I need on the road with them. There's no hostility. There's nothing like that. It's great communication between us. So, and that's what you're doing. You're being a driver manager, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what keeps you at Knight versus other companies?
It does. I feel kind of spoiled a little bit as far as me. I feel spoiled. I mean, I tend to, hey, when can I get a new truck? Or, hey, when can I get this? Or can I get that wrap truck because I'm a veteran? Can I get the U.S. Navy one? Because I've been bugging about that. I brought that up. I'm sorry. But I was interested. There's four wrap trucks, right? There's no Navy though. It's all Army. So I was like, hey, we need to put a Navy in there. Come on, Knight Transportation.
I'll put a word for you, Dennis.
Hopefully they don't cut that out of the video. I know this is recorded, so we'll just edit that right out of there. Dennis, thank you very much. Here's a truck for you. But no, I would love to represent the United States Navy and Knight Transportation in a wrapped U.S. Navy truck. If they got that, I would love, hey, sign me up. I'll represent it. I'll get those veterans. Trust me, I will. Because that's a beautiful truck wrapped in a beautiful Navy setting. So, got to represent the Navy. You going to get on that?
What was that?
I said, you're going to get on that? Yay!
I'll get right on it.
Okay, thank you.
So, I don't really have any other questions. Is
that it?
So we introduce ourselves. So maybe we should introduce ourselves, and then they can edit that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Question, please do.
Tell the story of your experience and whether have one specific successful.
Absolutely. Is that it? Okay. So, what's one specific referral? What's one specific successful referral that you guys have in yeah. That's why they're behind the scenes and I'm here. So let's just I am the team lead for the refer division in recruiting. John, you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm the DQP facilitator Monday through Friday on the weekends at dispatch. And I was doing those on the weekends when I started doing the dispatching on the weekends. And before that, I was a driver for 2 years. And I loved it, right? But like I said, I'd be home with my daughter, so I left. But as soon as I built a really close relationship with DDM, Dustin Gregg, so I still talk to him when I was working here. When he called me to a position that I ran home, I was ready to come. And he became more like a brother than a worker. You know, we became really close. And that's the way about Knight is that's what they do. You know, DMs, DDMs, everybody builds a strong relationship. And that's kind of why I'm back here again after being gone.
Great. Dennis, tell us a little bit about what you did for us.
All right. My name is Dennis Adams. I've been with Knight for 6 years total. A little break in between there. Tried to do my own little thing after a while and came back to Knight, knowing that I really love being a truck driver. So I did 20 years in the military. I left my house in Portland, Maine, Farmington, Maine, when I was 19 years old, fresh out of high school, graduated right off the boot camp. Spent majority of my career overseas in the Pacifics, basically Japan, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, usually all of the Pacific. Served in the war that we had just recently, came back. And my last ship that I retired was out of Bremerton, Washington. And I used my my GI Bill from the military to pay for my my Class A driver's license. So, and then the first company that I applied for was Knight Transportation, because I found that once I got my CDL, not many companies were going to hire you because you had zero experience. Knight Transportation gave me the opportunity through the Squire program, and I had my CDL. They gave me a trainer. I went out on a trainer for 4 weeks. Did my Canadian stuff with my trainer, and that was my first gig 6 years ago. Graduated the Squire program, got my own truck, and I've been with Knight ever since. I think it was 2016 when I retired, so I think that's almost 6 years. So this year will be 6 years total, but a break in between. Yeah, and I've been here ever since, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Any more?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you have a specific recruit that you just kind of always go back to, a story of somebody that you referred on the refer a friend program?
Right. That person would be Star Beaver. I've had 4 students training, but Star Beaver was actually one of my best students. I mean, out of the 4 that I had so far as training, but she was actually referred through one of my podcasts or my social media, and she was turned on to the idea that, you know, she was a Class B driver, a bus driver, and she saw what we did actually here on the road, and she was inspired to upgrade her Class B to a Class A. So I gave her the information through the social media, and she applied and got picked up by the Squire program and went to Phoenix, did her time, and then requested me as a trainer. And now she's graduated. She's back to, I believe, Katy, Texas. So she's got her truck and stuff like that. So she's been a highlight of my training and my referrals. So
yeah, you got to see her all the way through.
Yep.
The
entire process. Yep.
That's something that not everybody gets the chance to do. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's my highlight. I don't think anybody can top that, I believe. I mean, as far as any of my training, my training.
What's funny is when I left Knight, right, I was still recruiting people to come to Knight. And 2 of the guys I recruited are still here when I came back.
Nice.
So they come in and see me all the time now. They're excited I'm here. So they're like, yeah. But I think that's my most exciting, the fact that it works for the company. I'm still bringing people to the company I left.
Where did you find them at?
Well, they're friends from one's friends since 5th grade. And the other one's another buddy that's a friend of mine. Yeah, so I pushed them tonight. They're like, why don't I go where you're at now? I'm like, no, go tonight. You'll be happy.
Nice.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time. Do you guys have anything? Okay. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Have some great stories. Keep referring a friend and make that money. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you.
There you go. All done. Hot in here. So that was our interview with Night Transportation, with my podcast and social media. Oh man. As we're on the side of the road here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm not going to have any reception after this, so I'm going to be heading out. I'm going to close this one here. Hopefully you guys caught all that. I'm a little bit sweaty right now because I really didn't know what to say. I mean, other than not saying the F word or S word or beep this and beep that. Trying to be professional here. This is a beep side of the other side, so how you think I aced that? Really? Oh man, that was nerve-wracking. But anyways, that was Night Transportation. They interviewed me as far as recruiting and stuff like that. So as they said, we do make money off of recruiting. It's $500 for inexperienced drivers, and it's $1,500 for an experienced driver to come over to Night Transportation if we refer them and they get our code. Yes, there's money involved. So if you do become part of Night Transportation, you have that opportunity to refer other people from wherever you are to bring into. It's just one of those tools that they do. It's one of those tools that anybody really does for recruiting, is another driver recruiting another driver. From my personal experience, and I do honestly love Night Transportation. They have spoiled me as far as what I do and where I go and the type of loads that I do and the directions that I go. If I wanted to go to Florida next week, they would work hard with me to try to get me to Florida. Or if I want to go to Maine to see my dad, they would also do that too. It's an incentive, yes. It's an incentive, and it's probably cheaper than paying for advertisement with no leads. So now you're personable. You actually refer somebody that you make contact with, and you have an actual name and number that goes to that contact. So it is one of the best ways, by word of mouth, refer friend by friend. It's one of the better ways to recruit people for anything, really. Military. I did a semi-little recruiting duty for the U.S. Navy, so it's the same concept. You know, you refer a friend or you get somebody interested and stuff like that. But hopefully that went well. I don't know how they're going to edit it, when they're going to post it, but it was pre-recorded. So I'm pretty sure if I get the link, I'll be able to post it on Truckers TV so you can see the whole thing. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to haul butt because I got to get going. I got 9 hours and 26 minutes, 527 miles. I'm just right on the other side of Weed, California right now. I kind of pulled off to the side in a safe place to be able to do this interview to get it done. Now I got to go, but I'm going to lose reception. I know. But yeah, this is great. I hope you guys like it. Please like, share, follow this video. It's posted on YouTube and it's posted on Truckers TV. We do have a new YouTube channel. I'm starting to put these lives in YouTube as well as Truckers TV. We're expanding. We're getting bigger, guys. We're getting out there and people are noticing and people are watching. If you are a driver, there you go. I mean, Night Transportation takes care of its people. They really do. I'm very, very happy with my company. They treat me very well. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. Gotta go.